Question from a reader. This is a good one. Who would I need to be to become a truly great servant coach and create a substantial income from that service? Let's unpack that. Who would I need to be to become? Who would I need to be to become? That's important. A truly great servant coach. Love the beautiful aspiration towards service in that and greatness. And create a substantial income from that service. So I hear so many things in this. And create a substantial income. A truly great servant coach and create a substantial income. There's a lived distinction there that those two things don't necessarily go together. And I get that the question is an invitation to close that gap. I'm not poo-pooing on that, but I'm pointing out that because this is felt as such separate things, that lived distinction is part of the obstacle. You want to start actually simply just seeing those as the same thing. A truly great servant coach who is well compensated, who is highly paid. Not as an afterthought, not as a, and it would be, if it'd be okay to ask, it would be also great to have some money for that too. And I think that people oftentimes keep money out because they think that it dirties the service thing. That I can't be a truly great servant coach if I have the money too close. It needs to be an afterthought, in parentheses, as a separate sentence. I can't have it too close. And it's this distinction or this idea that having the money be part of the conversation makes it not service that actually is the obstacle. And this is obviously central to our work at Creating. We help people to live the integrated both and path of spiritual growth and material success. But this is a great example of how when we keep them separate, it creates an energy that I need to now bridge. But a truly great and highly paid servant coach. It's one idea. So the first thing that I would say as an answer is to bring the question, is to bring those ideas to have them live in one space. And how do you have two ideas live in one space? You bring them closer and closer in your speaking. I mean, just on a grammatical level, you speak them in the same breath, you know? A truly great and highly paid servant coach. Put the adjectives as a collective with an and before the noun. You know, just try that. Feel the difference the different experience that creates. You know, the words are a signpost and a tool to produce experience. That's what you really want. So you play with the words to create the internal world, the seeing that comes from the speaking, and then the feeling that comes from the seeing. We call it speak, see, feel, and creating. So the other thing I pointed out, who would I need to be to become a truly great servant coach? So what I'm hearing in this, and again, this is just what I'm reading from the sentence. I don't know exactly what's going on in this person's world, but I can read in a little bit to the experience based on the way the question is phrased. There's a gap between, there's like two gaps between being the truly great servant coach and where they are now. And the two gaps are, I'm not that and I need to become it. So I'm not that now. And so I need to become it. So that's gap number one. And gap number two is I'm not the person currently who's able to become that truly great servant coach. So not only do I need to become the truly great servant coach, I need to become the person who is able to become the truly great servant coach. Who would I need to be to become the truly great servant coach? So there's a big distance there. And we want to close that gap. And the way we close that gap is to just start speaking. I am a truly great and highly paid servant coach. I am a truly great and highly paid servant coach. Servant paid? Highly paid servant coach. And so my answer is, my first answer, maybe I'll give another one, but this is what I'm at right now. My first answer is to start with speaking in a way that feels probably, in the way that this was written, that's probably going to feel very far off from true. And that's okay. It's not supposed to feel true. If you spoke what's true, it'd be me sitting here be like, hi guys, I'm wearing a brown shirt. My name is John. Those two things are true. It's sunny outside. I mean, I'm not creating anything. I'm just describing what is. As long as I'm speaking what is, I'm just creating more of it. So you want to speak things that don't feel true as a way of bringing reality to meet them. I am a highly paid and truly great servant coach. I'm mixing the words around, but it's the same idea. I'm a truly great and highly paid servant coach. I am a truly great. Oh, this doesn't feel like it fits. Yeah, man, grow into it. And so, and then I'll give you something that I got from a guy named Noah St. John in his book, The Great Little Book of Afformations. Take a statement of creation like that doesn't feel true, and just put a couple words in the beginning to turn it into a question. Why is it that more and more often I am noticing that I am a highly paid and truly great servant coach? Why is it that more and more I can see how I am a truly great and highly paid servant coach? Or just straight up, why is it that I am a truly great and highly paid servant coach? So my answer to you, I think this is the best answer. There's no point in giving other ones, but like, oh, you got to do this thing over here and have that downloadable software and do this, ask these questions. It's like all that stuff secondary. There is so much distance in the way this question is phrased as a state of being between the outcome desired and where the phrasing is coming from, that the most consequential thing is going to be able to speak of that and as that in a way where it's just here and it's now, and to allow reality of your being and your body to rise to meet that. So claiming it, bringing it to the present, speaking it as if it is true, and not like faking it until you make it, but allowing that speaking of it to bring to light where there's gaps and in what you're. Well, if I were being that, what would I be doing right now, today? What would I say to this person if I were I'm just picturing I'm at Starbucks and I'm standing next to somebody and I hear them say something, or they say something to me, like, I am a truly great and highly paid servant coach. What do I do now, being that? Because I'll tell you what, whatever you do, it's going to be something very different than the person who lives the question, who do I need to be to become a truly great servant coach, and who also makes good money from it. Those two people do very different things in that same circumstance. So be the truly great, highly paid servant coach. I love you. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.